Hello and welcome back to the channel. Now we continue to remind you that we are living in some strange times. We're living in some strange times indeed. It's getting to the point where you cannot voice opinions on matters that are happening in the world, even if it directly affects you or your loved ones. So what we're talking about here today in this particular story is the attack that happened at a school. There is a trans student who we are not allowed to say is a boy. We have to say that he is a girl because that's what he identifies as. But this trans student attacked a girl. But I thought he was trans. I thought he was identifying as a girl. It wasn't an attack as in beating her up. It was an attack as in sexual assault. So I am going to share some of the details with you, in which one of the details just kind of really tripped me out. This isn't the first time he has done this, but yet he was allowed back in the school. If any other boy had done anything like this, if you remove the trans part and it was just a straight boy, a boy who was just, who he was when he was born, he would have been removed from the school. But anyway, let me go ahead and share some of the details with you, and I will be right back.
A Loudoun County, Virginia, high school student identified by police as a male and accused of assaulting a girl in a school bathroom while wearing a skirt was reportedly under court-ordered electronic monitoring for a previous assault charge when the bathroom incident occurred. It's unclear why the student was allowed back onto school property, as he had previously been charged with sexually assaulting another student on school grounds 5 months earlier. The allegations of a transgender bathroom assault take place against a backdrop of protests by parents across Virginia against what they say are politically motivated policies of school administrators, including policies accommodating transgender students. The protests promise to shape a close governor's race in which the Republican candidate, Glenn Youngkin, says he is taking the side of the largely right-wing parent agitators. In Loudoun County, the unnamed 15-year-old teen was accused last week of assault for allegedly forcing a victim into an empty classroom at Broad Run High School. There, he held her against her will and inappropriately touched her, police said. At the time, the student was already under electronic monitoring by police due to being charged with sexually assaulting a young girl in a bathroom in an Ashburn high school in May, Loudoun County Commonwealth's attorney Buta Biberage told TOP. The accused attacker wore a skirt during the alleged assault, the victim's father Scott Smith told the Daily Wire, a conservative publication. Youngkin, who is challenging former Democratic Governor Terry McAuliffe in November's gubernatorial race, released a TV ad on Wednesday which positioned his campaign as supporting angry parents who have protested the school's policies at recent board meetings. Youngkin has called his rallies Parents Matter events. His ad claims that the FBI is trying to silence parents after Attorney General Merrick Garland asked the FBI and U.S. attorneys' offices to meet with federal and local law enforcement to discuss strategies for addressing the rise in criminal conduct directed toward school personnel. Earlier this summer, protesters at a Loudoun County School Board meeting turned to violence while protesting a board vote over transgender inclusive student policies. The policies included allowing trans students to use school facilities and play on sports teams matching their gender identity. The policy passed in a 7-2 vote in August. The boy, who was 14 in May, was subsequently charged with 2 counts of forcible sodomy for the alleged bathroom assault. The teen boy has been charged in both crimes and is currently being held at the Loudoun County Juvenile Detention Center, TOP reported. The Loudoun County School Board said in a Wednesday statement that it has deferred the investigation to police and chose not to publicly comment on it before now. The board remains silent, it said, in order not to interfere with the police investigation. Previous to the statement, several parents demanded that Scott Ziegler, superintendent of the Loudoun County School Board, resign for allegedly covering up the sexual assaults.
Okay, so you've heard the details of this story, and parents are outraged, rightfully so. And I have some serious concerns for anyone who feels that the parents have no right to be outraged at this. As a matter of fact, one of the things that happened was just horrendous in my opinion. One of the school officials were perfectly willing to cover this up. They wanted to hide the whole thing. So what is really going on here? What's really going on here? You wanted to help hide this? So there's something much bigger working here on this particular situation. When you are dealing with laws and policies and politics, and you can't say anything about this specific group, even if they are harming someone's children, something else is definitely going on. Something else is definitely going on. How could you hide something like this? Why would you not want parents to know what is happening in this situation? Why would you want the world to know? Why is it that certain things that certain people do is a protected thing? You don't want anyone to know about it. You don't want anyone to talk about it. And the argument would probably be made that they are just trying to protect that particular demographic because not all of them would do something like this. That would be the argument that they would make. Well, what about the protection of unsuspecting girls who have to deal with the fact that someone who has different sexual body parts is allowed to enter into their space just at the mere saying or claiming to be transgender? So it's seeming like all they have to do is say, this is what I identify as. It is just too simple that a person could say that. I mean, this isn't the first time. There has been public restrooms at restaurants as well, where grown men have entered into the spaces of little girls, where little girls go to the restroom, and yet no one is allowed to say anything. You can't say anything. You can't protest this action. So basically, is the world now saying, or is the United States now saying that a grown man who identifies as a woman has more rights to be in a restroom than a little girl has to be or feel safe in that same restroom? Are we saying that his rights to identify as a woman is more important than the safety of that child? Is that what is being pushed now? I need someone to help me make it make sense, because right now parents are outraged. And again, as I stated before, if you don't believe that these parents have a right to be outraged, then something is definitely going on with your thinking. As always, I invite your comments, but I want you to keep it tight and keep it right. And I say that because, again, you're not allowed to say too much about what's going on. It's not accepted. They don't like it. So keep it tight, keep it right. But until next time, we hope you liked today's topic. Please leave your comments below. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, share it like this video, and with that, we're out. Be sure to ring the bell to be notified of new uploads on this channel, and also comment, share, like, and subscribe.